Are we ready?
I am wearing lots of pants.
I'm
wearing all of your
I'm
pants.
about to untake my pants off.
I'm wearing somebody else's pants.
Well, I'm not judging what you need to do. Man's got to do what a man's got to do to make a living.
Aw, yeah. Welcome, everybody. Holy crap, we're starting on time. And we only had a medium amount of hot mic.
A cue would be nice that we're going live. I'm like,
Thanks, Dark Matter. Appreciate that.
It was on the intro screen. Oh, wait, you guys want to go off again? Okay, we can go back.
no, we good. I just want
Well,
to.
now we
I
started
figured,
on time.
I
We
figured
could
you're
go
gonna
time.
give us a heads up, going, "Hey, we're gonna go live soon, okay? Shut up." Or something, just like
Okay. How about we do
We're gonna
this?
go
All
live
right.
right
We're
now.
gonna go in 5, 4, 3,
7,
2.
2, 9, 6. Hot mic.
Welcome everybody to This Is the Shit Show, and now Kentaro has no volume, so I guess we're gonna.
I should
fun.
speak, not just move my mouth.
Welcome everyone to episode 8. I don't know how we've gone to episode 8. I don't know what we're doing here, but there is two very lovely folks joining us today. A pair of Ricks. I think we need one more, and then we could have time and get good payouts.
Triple Ricks.
Triple Ricks?
No, that's
I
trouble.
don't think you'd know what to do with 3 Ricks all at the same time.
He doesn't know what to do with
Buy
one.
$1 million. You think I can make that happen?
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for coming on.
So hot. So
what?
Yes, Mike, you should do a proper introduction to the two gentlemen joining us today.
All right. Welcome. Today we have with us, for your viewing pleasure, the one and only Zero Chaos, who is also known as the Godfather of Pen 2. Hey, he accepted it. All right, cool. Don't worry, I'm throwing all the Pen 2s into all the things this year. I'm not forgetting anymore.
I appreciate that.
No, I appreciate.
Watching it booed is fun.
Wait,
but,
how much are you getting paid for this? Yo, Steve Dave, pay me for Kali references. I'll throw him in there.
Yeah, to be fair, he does give me a lot of free Cali support.
And next to him,
Support you can get.
on your screen, right above him, we have another Rick. What's up, Rick?
What up?
Dude, it's great to have you guys. If you don't know, these two are just the amazing people that make the RF Sanctuary. Previously, the Wireless Village. Previously, wireless.ninja. Is that the website?
It was Wi-Fi Village, then Wireless Village, and now RF Village.
RF Village. Okay, RF
There's
Village.
a lot more to Wi-Fi than RF. There's a lot more to RF than Wi-Fi.
Amen. I'm learning that every single day.
Or you could call it insecure IoT, which we had long before IoT existed too. So we got it either way.
Either way, these guys could be seen in past Defcons. You've been at the ShmooCons. You guys have just ran competitions. You guys do a ton of stuff. And with Defcon coming up, you guys have some activities happening for us, don't you, at the conference this year? A little bit of
Echo JP in the chat says next is going to be Signal Village.
Signal Village.
We're taking over Packet Village.
Would you guys include optical signals in that as well?
We've had optical. Yes.
Yeah,
It's on the spectrum, just like we are.
Nocturnal emissions. Nice. So wait. So, what used to be Wireless Village is now officially RF Village.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
so,
and our RF capture the flag.
So that's because there's a lot more than just wireless,
So it's all wireless, right? And that's what we were trying to say when we changed the name from Wi-Fi Village to wireless. But as it turns out, if you walk down the street and you say wireless to 10 people, all 10 of them think you're talking about Wi-Fi, and not one of them thinks you're talking about something else. Yeah, or a cell phone. So we wanted to kind of break that this is Wi-Fi only kind of pigeonhole we had gotten dropped in. And now I think RF Village really hits it, right? We're doing everything across all of the electromagnetic spectrum. We wanted people to understand that. Totally Wi-Fi is a part of that. Man, we had, cases with 50 Wi-Fi cards in it and all the access points and all the cool stuff that everybody expects us to have. But like, there's so much more, and that's where we spend most of our time playing, that we wanted others, we had ham radio before there was a ham radio village. We had IoT before there was an IoT village. We want people to play with anything that's wireless. Totally.
Yeah, one of the last year at the Rio, we had a full SCADA setup. And in fact, Jim Gillison and a bunch of others helped us out with SCADA stuff long before IoT or any of the SCADA villages were up. So we've tried to lead the way with all this stuff, and thank God other people are taking the reins and running with the individual pieces to this. But we're going to stay true to what we've always done, and we're going to be full spectrum. We're not going to back down from that. So RF Village finally got approved by Defcon, and it's kind of been a push. We've had some ups and downs with it, but yeah, we're in a happy place right now. And I at some point in this conversation, I definitely want to hit on the ridiculous amount of work the team's been doing to virtualize all this stuff.
Yeah.
So that definitely needs to hit. But yeah, let's don't want to disrail, the hot mic, because he is hot and he's sweaty earlier. So hot and sweaty Mike is
hot and sweaty Mike on
Instagram. Oh geez. Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm super excited to hear about all this. I'm excited to hear about like what you guys have planned for this year, and yeah, it's been a crazy year. It's been there's been a lot of developments happening. So let's jump into it, Kentaro, shall we?
Sure thing. So first off, this year it's going to be all virtual. Are you guys having a physical presence at DEFCON Vegas this year?
So interesting enough. Yeah, go ahead. We step on each other way too much. It's a lot more fun on stage. We actually have 2 folks that are going out, at least 2 at this point, and they are going to have beacons running. We will be announcing information on that as we get closer to DEFCON. So there will be a physical presence from a beacon finding. Fox and Hound's a little too difficult this year, just with people touching each other and people licking and coughing on each other. But besides that, we're going to have some pretty cool stuff out there, and we're also involving the. I guess we'll announce it at this point, and I'll hand it back over to Rick because he's been working a little closer. But we're also working with Wiggle again, so we've got some other really cool stuff going on this year that I think people are going to be super stoked about.
Honestly, the pictures from Wiggle's 20th anniversary that people keep posting to Twitter, that thread is like my heart, man. Like, just seeing all the gear, seeing the people doing it. And a few of them are like, this is what I used for the War Drive last year for DEFCON, and this is what I've added since then, and this is my new stuff. And it's just like, oh, I love all of you people.
I know, really me too. That thread has been great. Dope.
Yeah.
Totally
so
agree.
Great.
I mean,
you make us want to keep doing this stuff.
We had Andy, our cash on earlier this week. We have 2 episodes this week, which is ridiculous for unorganized people like me and my dark matter. I was like, I never figured that we could pull this off, but luckily, we have some hardcore fans of this show for some odd reason. I'm like, I can't believe we got to 8, but that last episode we did was just a baller of an episode because like there was so much people involved in the thing. So yeah, I mean I had fun, and it looks like there's a strong people wanting to follow and share. I mean, I never thought people would share it this much, because people are like people tend to be secretive about their stuff if for competition. I mean, so but no, I like all the rigs that are showing up and some of the old stuff that people are posting about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys have taken this war driving specifically. I mean, I'll give massive props out to Kahuna and Thorne and Kelly and all the guys from early on that we used to all work with.
Right.
I mean, we were the original top, 30 or 40 on Wiggle. But what you guys have done just makes that all look silly. I mean, we'd go out and we get 5,000 APs and we'd be super psyched, and you guys are pulling in like 100,000. So
this guy,
we see stuff. We see stuff going on.
Not
it's just
me.
Insane. But
I mean,
God
there's also a lot more connected devices than back in the days.
Agreed. But we were rigging our cars up with a couple extra antennas and one or two PCMCIA radios and a compact iPack. And we were like, hey, look what we got. This is badass. You guys are walking around with 600 radios,
It also helps that technology is kind of evolved to this level too, right? There's a lot of options.
But here's the thing. I mean, if it wasn't a fun thing to do, it would never have gotten to where we are, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's Eco is right. The batteries better, power technology is better, but all of that doesn't matter if this RF stuff that all of us love this much wasn't interesting. Then RF Village would never have been the size of it is now. War driving would have never become this major thing that some people get obsessive about, and with that comes extreme cases of that, right? I mean, we see that in all kinds of aspects, not only in the war driving, but throughout the history of the Wi-Fi village, wireless village, and now RF village, is that it used to be one radio and something cool, and then that grew into more radios, and then SDR showed up and changed the landscape again, and then and then people started to, it has gotten so much more bigger in general, right?
It's all super cool, and I really appreciate like the gamification of Wiggle and getting on top of the scoreboard and feeling good about jumping places. But the coolest part to me isn't that, like, I'm number one on Wiggle this week. That's awesome. The fact that you're taking pictures of your gear, you're showing people your build, what worked for you, the sharing and the camaraderie of it. It's like, I was on top this week. This is how I did it. Come get me. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Right? To share what you're doing, to give other people the chance to match your tech, to do better than your tech. I mean, some of these guys are using an insane amount of hardware, dark matter, and then some of these guys are just walking around with a Raspberry Pi and a backpack and winning. And I mean, that's incredible, right? To show like what really moves the needle, which obviously is just moving around a lot, of course, but to have the right equipment and to really just the effort you go through, Kentaro, to make this stuff. And then the other people that are making kits that are similar to what we make for Defcon, we made it because we don't trust shipping this stuff, right? We needed to carry it on the airplane. And you've got all these people now that are posting like, this is what my Pelican case looks like. It's just awesome. It's exactly what we want. And that camaraderie is really what drives all of us to keep going forward.
Yeah, I shot Zero a message the other day. I was like, this is the time of year that sadly the pandemic and, all of us have different risk models. Ours is, slightly different from others, and I respect everybody's. But I was pulling out Pelican cases the other day, and I'm like, this is the time of year I miss. I mean, this is the run out to Micro Center and grab 30 pies and 20 TP links and, get what I can get, and then start putting it together to make something to bring out to Defcon. But then also on the same note, professionally, taking our Pelican cases and rewiring them and cutting cables and making them as efficient as possible. And I mean, the hardware I love playing with. The software that Zero puts together onto that hardware, I mean, we're running, the Pittsburgh to Baltimore connection on a direct VPN from like April to August, trying to get this shit running. He's like, hey, you just pulled up 3 new devices. I'm like, stop looking at my shit and fix your shit. and that's what ends up happening every year. And we just get it, better and better. I mean, we've prided ourselves on the fact that we can run, 5 days straight, a full set of 30 wireless networks that the best hackers in the world are going after. And for the most part, comments aside, it's up and it's running and we're not crashing.
Right.
You brought through, Kentaro, you brought through a D-off machine one time. And there were a couple teams who were like, what the hell?
I don't know what you're talking about.
And we're sitting here going, yep, we see it. Keep it up. Good job. But our shit's still running. I mean, it takes a lot of time, and I we've got a team of about 7 now. If I'm wrong on that, correct me, but I think it's about 7. We're running against some of the best in the world. I mean, we've got some hilarious stories about foreign spies and foreign this and foreign that, and questioning by 3-letter agencies after conferences. But our shit never fell, except
it did
for
once.
Except for once, they literally said it at the same time, so it must be true.
Yeah, no, literally. That is my metric, right? Did I win or did I lose? Means did my gear stay up and did anybody root something critical? And the answer is I have totally lost once.
I will caveat
right?
with
that was
the
a loss.
1 year, 2015, the 1 year I didn't go, sitting on the sofa talking to Zero. He goes, "Oh shit!" I was like, "What? Do I need to buy a ticket? Maybe."
Oh jeez.
I did not get a lot of sleep that night.
It was Saturday morning, and that day was a long freaking day.
I did not get a lot of sleep.
I mean,
that did end up in some 3-letter agency interviews.
How long has the village been like in this current structure? Like
we took it over from Frank Thorne and John Kelly, props way out there, the first year at the Riv. It started at Defcon 10.
No, Riv was like 13 or 14.
Oh, the Riv.
Yeah, the Riv. It started Defcon, I want to say 10 or 11, after Shipley gave one of his talks, and Roper and team put together the worldwide wireless war drive. And that kicked things off. Kelly and Thorne built out a bunch of shit for the next couple years, and then we took it from them with permission. Or it was John Kelly going, "Get this out of my fucking hands. I don't want to do this anymore." And we started that. It was 2007 that we really started running the village. Kahuna and Thorne and Renderman set up something in one of the first village. Us and Lockpick were the first 2 villages. And we've been running since then.
So 15 was the first like real village, but also the amount of evolution since then is really crazy. Like there were some impromptu talks at 15, mostly from the organizers, and there were some great discussions, and there were people playing with stuff, and it was an awesome place to get together and talk about stuff and show stuff and whatever. But like
it was a village. It was a true village.
Yeah.
I put together a talk that ended up, I think, either killing people or ruining friendships, but it was Renderman, Al Potter, Bruce Potter, and Romer. And it went beautiful for about a minute and a half. And then everyone decided that they were right. And most of them were right, Al at the same time on different topics. And the panel went just off the charts. Not quite as bad as Aardvark, but it went off the charts.
Ooh, no punching down.
that was a different kind of off the charts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've heard the 3 of you. That's hilarious.
Sorry, I thought you were gonna keep talking.
Scooter, it doesn't count.
What?
If no one hits the podium that the speaker's speaking with a scooter, it doesn't count as a train wreck.
That's pretty impressive.
Literal train wrecks during talks.
Now we got creative one year, and we had the furries as foxes, which nobody expected, and had the furry parade come in at the end. We did have a player take over a butt plug, which was not authorized by us, but was run anyway. I think he took her off for drinks later. Yeah, we've had some interesting stuff over the years.
Whoa. Real quick, what sort of hijinks or shenanigans do you guys have in store for this year?
I have the official lineup kind of hijinks for this year. I've released almost all of the code that we actually use to run our contest on GitHub.
Yep.
So I'm super, super proud of that. So
that's really awesome.
In about 2 months before last year's DEFCON, we were told at the same time as the general public, with the same announcement, by the way, DEFCON is going to be virtual this year. And we're like, cool, we've got 6 Pelican cases full of wireless shit. This is going to go awesome.
And about 10 miles of wire.
So I had I had an idea, like I'd really love to build this home game idea so that people could do this when they can't come out to cons. And I had never put any real effort into it aside from like, this is technically possible. We should totally do it. And then just it backburnered forever. I got a lot of help, especially from Redbeard, implementing a Magic AWS version of my home game. In less than 2 months, we made it all work. And I will disparage no one, especially Redbeard and especially not me, but that code was garbage. And it still pains me to this day. So I have spent from close of Defcon last year, coming up on Defcon this year, rewriting all of it. Including stuff that I had been managing for years, including stuff that we had just written, and releasing every last bit of it as public as soon as I reasonably could ensure that it worked. And so I've got almost every single part of our game public, and there's already enough public that you can just build your own game based on what we do. And I'm super proud of that. That's awesome.
That's not just Wi-Fi, that's SDR too.
Right.
Let's be real. This is on a different level of what containerization and virtualization really should be. I mean, this is 100%, if you didn't know you weren't sitting in the room, real as hell. It's almost scary.
Yeah, it's quite incredible actually. Like just being able to like basically put in an IP address and a port number, and you guys are connected to the challenges and the radios that go along with it, right?
Yeah. Well, do you know you never played?
Everything. Yeah,
I did. I didn't score any points.
Fact.
It's easy to collect, it's hard to crack.
We wanted to do everything we could to make it feel realistic while it was a virtual game. So like, yeah, we could totally provide IQ files to download and then you open them in your tool. But that doesn't feel like you're capturing something, you know?
Right.
Playing it over the air is the same more or less as playing it over an IQ stream, but it's streaming. And yeah, you can save that stream just like you could save the air live, but you have to deal with that stream for at least some amount of time. And I really like the feel that gives you, right? Yeah. You can go back to recapture it if you felt you did it wrong or whatever. And it gives you that real feel. It's not, you know, download this PCAP and tell me the WPA passphrase. That's not fun. Like I want to run Airmon. I want to put something in monitor mode, damn it.
Yeah, when was the last time oh, the Circle City Con. I was like, it's been ages since I cracked web, so I'm going like, how the fuck do I crack web again? Like,
web's hard, man.
What is funny with this one is we actually walked through some of the tutorials and there's some, believe it or not, we actually have decent, you know, actual real documentation at this point. If you follow our stuff, you can actually crack some of this web in like 45 seconds. I mean, it can be done if you do it correctly. And like web, you know, web's dead. Let's not be, let's not fake it. But if you don't learn how to crack web first, WPA is just silly. You know, you have to know how to go through manually 5 terminals at the same time, 2 or 3 radios, monitoring, cracking, looking, replaying, catching IVs, re-ARPing, and going through that process to really know how this shit works. If you don't know how it works, you may be able to get through a pen test, but you're not assessing a network. Right. Not that you may ever see web, but I'll tell you, in the last year and a half, I've seen it 3 times on real networks. It still exists. It's usually a misconfiguration.
I capture it all the time, and it's because of like shitty printers and other IoT devices.
Scanners are horrible. They actually don't have WPA supplicant on them in a lot of cases.
So I mean, I see it. I see it on office supplies all the time. I mean, it's because they never updated that part. They're like, we have nobody.
Let's be fair. Nobody's segregating their networks anymore.
Well, I mean, the only way to be secure is air gap. Oh wait, that doesn't work for us, does it?
Gap that air.
So as far as content goes, you guys will have talks and the contests. And is the Wiggle contest coming back in the form that happened last year? Or are you not ready to announce it yet?
I think we're close.
Go ahead, Rick. Just say it. No. The way changed your love, you may definitely lead the way.
I refuse to have a con going forward that people aren't capturing packets, because there is a global thing going on right now, and they're changing into fraternities now. We got Delta Lambda Beta. We need to have something,
or airline mileage programs.
Exactly. We've got to have something that we're rolling with. So yeah, we've been talking with the Wiggle guys, and I believe they haven't shot us yet to tell us no. So
no, they said yes.
They did say yes. I didn't want to say they said yes. Okay. We are going to have another Wiggle War Drive for their 20th. Yeah. We are going to give them a whole hell of a lot of love during the conference in some pretty special ways that we've talked about.
Hey.
And hopefully, if all goes well, we're going to top the numbers that we hit last year, which, if you can jump in real quick, what was that number? Was it 1.1 million?
Yeah, it was like something ridiculous. I don't know, like that.
It was a record that they hadn't seen since forever, and we'd love to have the players beat that.
Yeah.
White Shadow, you're out there somewhere, I hope.
Arcas is in the chat, and he's like, yes, we're in. So
yeah. So that'll be there. There may or may not be some vehicles virtually driving around the con for real. I'll let you guys figure out how to work that piece out.
Can you say that one more time? I got confused.
No, you didn't.
Virtual vehicles driving around the con for real. Is that what you said? I just want to make sure I get the words right.
You got those words right, sir.
Interesting.
If you find the vehicles, you'll know what we're talking about, and there may be some points for that. And I believe we did put out a challenge that
1,000 kilometers. No, I ain't doing 1,000.
Do we want to talk about those 1,000 or whatever points for doing what that thing was doing?
Oh. Maybe not. Maybe we'll save that one for next week. That way there'll be a 10th episode of this show.
We will hold you to that. On the 10th episode, we will bring you back. Only 2 more episodes.
If the folks on site are as good as they think they are, there's going to be a potentially really, really, really cool challenge. Sorry, Woody.
Would you call it a juicy challenge?
I would call it more than I would almost call it Grand Theft Auto challenge.
Oh, WiggleNet is here. Our dire name has been invoked. Somebody said wiggle, wiggle, wiggle 3 times in the mirror. They showed up. Thanks, brothers. We love you. But no, I think like I said, last year, I had fun playing it. I mean, it was it was the first year I wasn't sure what to do. And really Grimace did last year beating the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, he
totally inspired me.
amazing.
And I was like, yeah, I gotta get my shit together. So, and then I started walking, and I've been doing it for almost a year by now. So, I mean, at this point, I'm really digging it. I've done a 50K.
You've lost almost a full Kintaro, haven't you?
Not quite, but I did the 50K. I loved it. I hated while I was doing it, but now looking back, it was like, wow, that's kind of cool. So next year I'm shooting for 100, twice the distance.
Ooh.
So I'm doing that,
and I'll be there doing it.
Yeah. So me and my Dark Matter, we're planning a 100K war walk in a day.
If you don't hold hands during at least part of that video, it didn't happen.
I'm down.
Guys, gotta be hands.
Bring it up. But no, it was really wiggling all the way. No, that's a different kind of wiggling you're talking about. But it really was fun, and I that felt like a real participation into a virtual con, and I think that was very unique because it forced me outside, and I'm walking, and it's not like sitting in front of a screen cracking CTF flags.
That's exactly what we wanted. That's exactly what we wanted. The war drive is about getting out and really doing it And that's something we couldn't force people to do when they're all crowded around a table in our village. So to just start that up early so that it doesn't detract from the other challenges, it gives you the time to do it and do the other parts. And just, we love doing that, right? Like we all did that for years, and it's still have too many antennas on my car. And you have to, just to see if you can, to practice, to see how it goes. And yeah, Grimace killed everybody, but it was still incredible.
Yeah, no, it was
inspiring.
We actually tried this. Was it well, I guess three or 4 years ago now, we actually did this at ShmooCon, where we forced a war drive. And I do believe that changed the winner, didn't it? That changed the final three, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it was DC, so there was that added layer of crazy. But we liked it a lot, and I've always been the fox and hound and get out and war drive. And the CTF thing we've always had, and we got to have people sitting in the room doing something. But getting people out and doing things, that's what got most of us involved in this to begin with.
And I think that's a unique aspect of the village, right? A lot of the villages like come to our talks, do the workshops. Here's some tools, play with the tools in our village. Whereas, Lockpicking Village isn't going to go say, I'm not dogging them, but for example, they're not going to go say, okay, go find a closed door and open it and send me a picture. That's not how this works.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Cool. Are you online right now? Max Power. I think he's on to something here. biggest break-in during con gets points.
Right. That's not going to happen, right? So, or any of the other. I mean, I couldn't as well. They could. I'm like, yeah, they could, but they're not going to do that. I mean,
right.
Biohacking isn't going to be drop your sperm here and we'll analyze it. I mean, it's not, just like
stop this pacemaker.
Right? Yeah. Here, find really somebody with a pacemaker and kill him. That's the point. Really, that's not going to be.
Calm down, Kentaro. Calm down. Take a breath, buddy. So that's really the challenge, right? Is we can talk about like, okay, so here we've got Travis's neighborly Zigbee belt buckle. It replays all the Zigbee packets it captures, go into the hospital and count how many people die. That's a legitimate contest, but we can't run that, right? That's just not going to work out well. So we tried to do war driving contests before this last year. And, Rick would come up with an idea and I would try desperately to implement it. And as it turns out, I'm exactly as good a coder as you think I am. And it never really worked out smoothly. It was usually a lot of really painful, fix this code, oh my God, to get the scoring to work. And it was just really, really challenging. And then this year, he's like, no, we really need to make it work. And I'm like, fuck you, I'm not doing it. It's like, fine, I'll get Wiggle to do it. And he did. And foolishly or not, they volunteered and they supported the living hell out of us.
Oh my God,
and they made an amazing thing. And I think the biggest change between last year and this year is just a little bit more visibility publicly. This is how we're scoring. This is how the game works, just to cut down on some of the confusion that we had. Letting people choose their own areas to war drive last year was a really confusing thing, because it's like, what do you mean pick an area to war drive? It's like, well, we don't all live in the same place, so you have to define your own bounds and then do a good job in those bounds. And we didn't explain a lot of that great. So there's wonderful after action talks where we talk about that stuff. But just having more in advance is really what we're looking at. The game is going to largely be the same.
And also, it was like a first try experiment, and we had all this stuff thrown together, and it turned out awesome. I thought it was fantastic. So I can't wait to see what happens this year. I definitely had a really fun time and was very excited. And it's definitely motivated me over the last year to want to stick with this stuff and want to keep doing it. You know what I mean? And it's like, why? Because I want to do more war driving. Why I want to capture more spectrum. Why I want to build more cool stuff, because there's more technology coming out. And so I think what you guys do is just a huge service to the community. And I, for one, am extremely appreciative, super appreciative to Wiggle. And so thank you. Yeah. This is awesome. I can't wait for what happens.
Wiggle's done some amazing stuff, and the Wi-Fi piece of Wiggle's awesome. The hidden access points that people had to find were awesome. Bluetooth is still that weird anomaly out there because Bluetooth moves. So we're driving Bluetooth is awesome for numbers, but Bluetooth moves. What I'm really looking forward to is a time when we start adding in and figuring out a way to score, and this is a preemptive for next year likely, but figuring out how to score cell towers and fake cell towers and other pieces of equipment that require people to get out of their comfort zone of just a Pi and a freaking ACM. So we're looking at some of the SDR spectrum, looking at some of the space that people need to jump out of their comfort zone.
Or you can win by backdooring Kiwi SDR and logging into the. Never mind.
So if I could throw a plea onto this, since I hope that people are actually going to watch this later, our favorite tool is Kismet. In case anyone couldn't tell that, we love Kismet. We love everything
I love Kismet. Kismet has made like everything I do possible. Like without Kismet, I wouldn't have anything.
Thank you, Dragorn.
Thank you, Dragorn.
Thank you, Dragorn.
Thank you, Dragorn.
Yes. So a lot of people, hold on. A lot of people are trying to figure out how to add cell tower stuff to Kismet, most likely through Croc Hunter or something like that the EFF's put out. And if you want to help, Kismet has a Discord that is linked from their public website. And the answer is, we would love your help. I'm a terrible coder, but I can make anything compile. So we can get the tools working. We just need to get them to talk to each other a little bit better. And honestly, it's a very solvable situation. Not one we're solving before Defcon, but one of the contributors.
I want to get us to that point.
Yeah. One of the contributors, don't look behind you, Satan Claus, has been working on getting Croc Hunter to talk to Kismet, and just we need help. It's not trivial, but by this time next year, I really think that's going to be part of the contest.
Yeah, hopefully next year we'll have a physical presence again, right? Not that it matters to Mike.
If
Dark Matter, because he never shows up, but that's what's up.
I made it there for like 10 minutes.
On the last day.
Left his
if Dragorn can create a tool like NetStumbler, he can do anything.
Literally gonna hold that over me forever. I'm sorry.
And there go all of our points.
Those that get the joke got the joke.
Wait,
the rest,
dude, man, me and Dark Matter are still trying to be in this good grace, so we actually can lure him onto the show and talk about his next new release.
Oh, he needs to be here at some point.
Yeah,
and I mean that in true love. I've just had to explain so many people that. No, he's not the guy that wrote NetStumbler. It's Kismet, and it's so much better.
Yeah, and he's also not behind you. He's not the Fed with the long hair. This is like.
Oh, it's not. It's the other one. Satan Claus.
It's the other way around. Wi-Fi Summit. Yeah, Wi-Fi Summit would be cool. One of these, maybe for our 1 year anniversary of this show, we'll do a Wi-Fi Summit session somewhere.
Yes.
I don't know.
Let's do it in Tokyo like the Olympics. That's been going great.
That's been going great.
I hear there's a lot of people watching the Olympics this year.
Right. There's going to be super fun stuff happening. It's kind of funny because there's a state of emergency in place and people are supposed to be at home, but they're upping the security on the streets. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. You told people to stay the fuck home. You're upping the security. But that's a whole nother talk. So we know that there's going to be talks. There's going to be the regular RFCTF, is it now? It's not the wireless CTF anymore, right? RFCTF, the war walking, war driving segment. Any other notable things that you want to talk about? No?
No, the war drive and the regular CTF are pretty much it. We've extended and expanded everything from last year. We've spent, like I said, this year I've spent rewriting all of the stuff, and there's been a lot of improvements along the way. So there was kind of a hidden beta in our magical little AWS environment where when you logged in, you could actually get a GUI environment to work in, like a full web VNC, and just do everything like that. But we didn't really advertise it because sometimes it would lock you out, and I didn't know how to fix that at the time. It's all fixed now. And so now you actually, when you log into the virtual environment, you get a choice of 4 Linux distros. You can run Pentoo, Kali, Parrot, or BlackArch. All of them have full GUIs. They all have all of the SDR tools and all the Wi-Fi tools installed. So like literally, if you wanted to play this from your Chromebook in a web browser, I'm not going to name that company that's a fruit because I don't care about their garbage, but like you can run this from basically anything. You want to compete in our contest from your cell phone? Do it. Download Hacker Keyboard for Android, and now you've got a tilde and an escape key, and you're good to go. Just go nuts like that. That's what we've wanted forever.
It's Parrot without the back door.
Yes, that is true. I did remove the back door.
I did.
There's a lot of backdoor news this week. You know that.
there may or may not have been quite a few conferences where there may or may not have been DoD red teams, which shall not be named, that were running Parrot that we were just backdooring the crap out of. That they came back to us afterwards and said, "Why did you do that to our government computers? Why were you using your government computers in our CTF? Two great tastes, taste great together."
Oh my gosh.
Fair enough. Hey, so the CFP is still open, right? Is it open until what, Saturday?
Yes.
Or tomorrow, I guess, huh?
I think Sunday.
Sunday?
Sunday.
I think Sunday. Yeah, officially it closes at midnight on the 19th. As in,
what
like
time
you've
zone?
got until
zone.
I check things in the morning.
East EST.
You have until I wake up on the East Coast and close the CFP on Monday. That's the truth.
Anybody got a set of roofies, send them over to 0.
Dude, my kids wake me up the second the sun's up. There's nothing else stronger.
And then
if you've got an interesting talk, submit it. We're not being super critical for people that have the ability to record from home. If you have the ability to sit in front of a camera and talk for 20 minutes, give us an idea what you want to talk about, and we'll guide you. We'll tell you what you're looking for.
So that brings up a good question. Suppose somebody is going to talk at Black Hat and do Defcon labs, and they already have recorded their talks. Can they submit the same video for our village CFP for the same tool?
No, you can't, Kentaro.
So we actually do.
Everybody else, yes.
We actually do get cast-offs from Defcon every year. Folks that just didn't make the main CFP cutoff get redirected to us by Defcon. Rejected talks, yes. Accepted talks, no.
Oh, okay. So if they're already doing Defcon demo labs and Black Hat Arsenal to show off their new tool, they can't submit the same video.
I feel very targeted right now.
So if you were to take I don't know, 40 of those Wi-Fi pineapple things and put multicolored lights instead of green, that would be a new tool, right?
What if it was a new battery?
New keyboard?
What if I got an extra 20 minutes out of the battery?
Does that count? Why do I do this?
Hey, Wiggle has an actual question in the chat. Any underrepresented technologies or frequencies you like to see in the CFP?
Everything. Honestly, I'd love to see everything.
So I've been doing a lot of work with 5G since I got my vaccine, and now I'm a target. So I would.
You heard it here.
I would like to see some interesting 5G wireless handoff and 5G wireless cert talks. That would be interesting to me. I would like to see how people expect to secure some of these really, really insecure handoffs when their phones are man in the middles. I would love to see some people that are doing more interesting things with WPA3 in terms of some of the cracking that they're doing. We had Blunderbuss do some amazing work early on, cracking WPA3 in line. We stopped that relatively quickly with a silly change that we should have put in from the beginning, but secretly we're trying to see if anybody could break through. But some legitimate attacks against some of this stuff. I know there's been some talk of 6E stuff coming out. We've got a few folks running wireless AD in the field. Great work from Woody that's been doing some really, really cool shit with AD. 60 megahertz is awesome. I have 60 gigahertz, thank you, is awesome. So some talks around people that have been doing some work on that. I see some really cool operational uses of 60 gigahertz because of the lack of distance. So you talked earlier, Alcantara, about some air gap networks. Well, what if you're in a tent in the middle of God knows where? How small is that footprint and what can you do to it? I think there's some cool shit that could be done there too.
And then on the other side of that, like on down into radios and walkie-talkies, I love seeing P25 talks. I love seeing DMR talks. And then just to be more inclusive, I love to see noob talks. I love to see somebody that installed Kismet on the most hilarious piece of garbage they found. And that's great. Like this,
compute stick.
We're going to talk about the stuff that we desperately want to see. Like, you know, really cool stuff, you know, 6G, Wi-Fi 6E handoffs and 5G cellular stuff. And that's all awesome. But like, there's people at all levels that want to learn. Don't feel the need to have a novel break for the encryption for cell phones before you come to us. If you've got a cool tool that makes your life better for some reason, or you know, a new methodology to do something, or you just updated your D-Author smartwatch to do something cool like Blinket's light green, then submit it. You know,
hey, Mr. Villain, cool. Mr. Villain in the chat, did you hear that? You can actually bring out that old sharp Zarus of yours, and if you can compile and run the new Kismet on it, you can talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, Kentaro, when you started the thread on shit people have built, we jumped on and a couple others jumped on. I'd love to see talks on people building shit. I mean, to be fair, I mean, that kind of stuff is in our world. I mean, we started the first 10 minutes of this conversation around what people are building. What are you doing in your spare time? You've had a year and a half to we lost Zero. You've had a year and a half to build shit. We've got some amazing splitters coming out of some groups out of Canada that we're working with. Zero's got a Zero splitter that does some amazing receive work. I don't know if he's going to grab that or just going to be.
He's probably going to bring that box out.
But there's some shit out there now that's not been out there. I mean, let's be fair. Wi-Fi died for about 8 years. I mean, literally, there was nothing new. I mean, you were coming in with PCMCIA card that you were hand compiling, as well as somebody running with an alpha, and you were doing the same shit.
See, there's the case. What's the case? This is that Pulp Fiction moment where
what's in the box?
Hey.
I love this thing. It's one of my favorites forever.
One of my favorites forever. The funny thing about this whole global pandemic situation is that, and I said this on another stream with Dark Matter, is that for the first time in years, I actually had a chance to mature my rig, because I'm jumping from project to project when I'm traveling, because I only have like 2 weeks here, and then I'm on the road again, back for 2 weeks, have another week, and I never had the chance to sit down and actually mature the project, right? And me starting to war walk.
You were saying war driving contest? What?
What?
I didn't hear you. Was it war driving contest? You said.
Look, they're all properly spaced.
Wait, you can't play. You're the organizer. Isn't there like some?
No. So my team is going to be P Kappa. And figure out whether it's a COVID variant or not. And I'm totally winning this year.
and what is that maple? Are you Hail Canada?
So this is one of the toys from our friend Alex at Alftel. He made.
Thanks, Alex.
Hey, Zero, did you just say the winner of the contest is going to get that case?
This specific prototype is mine. But Alex has made some really cool stuff for us. In addition to making that case, which is 16 radios, and a smaller version, which is 8 radios, he also made quite a few of these fantastic wideband splitters for SDR use. So if you wanted to capture all kinds of crazy stuff, one antenna goes on your car, and it splits it out to a bunch of different receivers. And this stuff's all for sale already on Alftel's Tindy site.
Right, yeah.
I may or may not have two of those.
It's great stuff.
Alex, I may or may not have two of those installed in my Suburban with a NUC and about 25 radios.
Woody may or may not have 6 installed in his car.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
the Raptor with the swag is badass.
Dude, shout out to Alex, because he's been like just pushing stuff out. Like, it literally started with just throwing some radios together, and then now he's building all these cool boards and the combiners. He's given, like, for the Cactus, I was able to use a combiner to be able to reduce the number of antennas I have on that device.
But then it's not a cactus; it's just a thorn.
It's just a thorn.
It's a less thorny cactus.
It's a cacti. It's a cacti.
Yeah. So yeah, dude. Thank you, Alex, for the stuff you're doing, and that's awesome. That prototype you showed us. Oh man. Real quick, we were talking about kind of the noob side and getting into this. Let's say this year. I just had a thought. Sorry. With the CFP, with you guys selecting talks. How's that gonna work this year? Like, does that get you access to the conference? Like, for people that you're accepting, like, is there going to be
I will give
virtual
everyone who submits a free ticket to Defcon Virtual on me. All you do is click on the link on Defcon's website. You join the Discord. You can watch all the talks for free, just for submitting to our CFP. Or if you don't, same thing.
That's awesome.
That we do offer tickets most years when we have a physical presence. Speakers who get selected do get a ticket with it. Unfortunately, since we're not physical, I can't offer anything like that. But maybe
that's still awesome to
really
do for the virtual, because I think isn't the virtual still like 85 or something? So like submit.
The virtual is free. The virtual is free.
Oh, I thought it was like 85.
Yeah, no, it's free.
So yeah, you can.
Oh, if you got the badge, that's what it was. The virtual badge. That's what I saw. The 85.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody gets free entry into the RF Hacker Sanctuary Discord, though, right?
Yes. Everyone gets free entry into our Discord as well. I pimped Kismet's Discord. I pimped Defcon's Discord. We also have a Discord. It is one of the friendliest places I have ever hung out online. So I really recommend it for all skill levels. We're just a bunch of people who love doing what we do, talking about it with other people of wildly varying skill levels. And the conversation's amazing. We had a guy, I don't know, a person, might be human, might not, I don't even know. A person who bought their very first SDR, had no antenna, didn't realize it didn't come with an antenna, and there are people helping them make an antenna for the thing while they wait for one to ship. And then find out like it's not working right. So the person opens up the board and is taking pictures of it. People are like, oh yeah, that didn't solder right. Like the oven didn't get hot enough. You can see the reflow works bad. Just ask for an RMA. Send them that picture. They'll send you an RMA, no problem. Like, just that's the level of support people are giving because they all love this hobby and they just want to help other people love this hobby. And I love that.
Yeah, I think it would be wrong not to mention Iceman's Discord too.
Iceman has a great Discord as well. It's all about RFID stuff. And
how am I not in that Discord? I'm in like 67 Discords.
Once we go back to real, the entire RFID package is there too. We've got seven locks, 7 rooms, 7 different attack vectors, and thanks to the Red Team Alliance and the work that they did with us, we've got a portable kit that's ready to go as soon as we're back live again.
Right. RFID that's over awesome. Virtual machines is a bit harder to do.
We've tried really, really, really hard.
Yeah.
And Iceman had some concepts, but it involved like a sheep, a goat, and some boots, and it just wasn't something we could get behind.
I think I'm gonna make that the tag for the giveaway this week. Iceman will be like, "What the fuck?" But okay, I think we're coming up on the hour. So
wait, real quick, I just had one other question. Okay, so now this is where I was going before I asked about the ticket stuff and the CFP. If people want to get started, what do they do? What's the first step they've done? Let's say they've never done wireless RF CTF before and they want to jump into this. What's their first step they're gonna do? Or the Wiggle War Drive.
Yeah, I'm gonna post the page in the chat here. We actually have an RF CTF virtual how to get started. It's right off of our site of rfhackers.com. And we have the ability to kind of jump people in pretty quickly. We've tested this from everybody from an 11-year-old to an 80-year-old, and everybody's been able to get through it. Even you could even get through it, dark matter. Don't worry about it. It'll be trivial. It has no time zones.
I appreciate that.
The interesting thing though is having gone through it at Circle City Con is that the skill set is the same, so you can practice on your own now and be ready for the CTF. It's not like unlike other CTFs where you have to wait for the CTF to start, and you can only accumulate so much knowledge of what is going to happen prior to the CTF itself, right?
Yeah, we're not creating some obnoxious, one-off protocol that only works on a 1977, handheld phone from AT&T. Defcon 21. But we are setting up things that people can use. If you're really good and you're competing, you're going to get through it quick. You're going to get extra points, and you're going to get through it. If you're learning how to do this, you could spend all day on WCTF 00 and learn a ton.
Yeah.
So we've got the ability for people to go from everything from I've never seen a computer before all the way out to I've been an RF engineer for 20 years.
Yeah, and I think in that sense, often when we had the physical conference, the message that we had to send out earlier, or you guys sent out earlier, was like, make sure you test your gear right before you show up.
Oh yes.
Right, and I think,
oh God, yes.
in a virtual environment, that thing is still valid in the sense that test your gear before you start war walking, test your knowledge before you join the RFCTF, right?
Yep.
And
or use it as a learning experience.
Oh yeah, no.
If you don't care about scoring, or if you're one of those noobs, and I love it every year, we get a team that's never played before. They get 2 or 3 people. Hey, I've never played before either, and they all sit together. And 20, 30 minutes in, or 20 or 30 minutes before it's over, they're on the board, and they're up there on the front screen. They're taking pictures. They're taking selfies. They're doing all. They got points, and I've seen people, and we've actually heard. Winners of the CTF got promotions. Winners of the CTF got a new job. Playing in the CTF made it onto the red team at work. I mean, there's a lot of really cool shit that happens to people, but you got to get out and do stuff. I mean, it's really cool to be an academic. It's really cool to study this shit, but to actually get out and do it, you're going to learn so much more.
Yeah, and maybe next year when we have a physical, or when you guys have a physical presence again, we can bring that Wiggle 20th thread into a physical environment that said, bring your rig, let's do a show and tell for a night.
Totally.
5 minutes, everybody goes up and shows and tells what they're proud of, right?
Oh, that would be
100%.
rad.
We are pretty notorious for having impromptu talks at that. We've got the village for the entire time Defcon's running. The last physical conference we had, we went till 4 a.m, right? We had an open bar, and we required people to give a 5-minute non-tech talk, and it was the coolest 5-6 hours we've ever had.
Wow.
I would have absolutely no problem, as long as all the stars align, of having 5-minute present, run what you brung, show us what you built, and have a talk like that, and just have a party in the village one night. I have no problem doing that.
And
once we go live.
so start doing it this year. Learn for a year, show up next year. And we get to tell war stories again. So the CFP is open until whenever Zero wakes up the next morning
on Monday.
On Monday,
which is when the sun comes up, because his children are very punctual.
So if somebody were to send like 2 Disney cruise tickets for your kids, starting
our cruise line's closed right now.
Right.
Good bribe.
Shit, there's that.
But no, seriously, like, we all do this, and I include everyone on this call. We do this because we think it's fun, and we want to share it with other people in the hopes that they find it fun too. And as a nonprofit running the village and the contest, RF Hacker Sanctuary's goal is just to give people that live ability to play and learn and compete. But it's an educational experience. So like right now, the game is down because we're prepping everything for Defcon.
Right.
But it's been up for like 10 months out of this year, where you could just drop onto our website and play the game exactly as it was for the last contest. We just kind of reset the scoreboard at the end of the contest and let it run for 3 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever. And then I go through, because I had to retool it, and it'll be down for a couple of days. And then I'll just open it right back up, because the goal is play, learn, have fun. We want people to do this because we think it's awesome, and we hope you do too, right? So I mean, That's why we've released all this stuff. I just dropped in the chat the link to our GitHub, but it's literally the entire containerized environment. You can just run these scripts on your computer, and you can literally play the exact same game. I even included some actual configs, not the configs I run for the contest, but working configs for web networks and WP networks that you can then attack for fun. Because honestly, it's fun. And that's what we want to share with everybody. So
that's awesome.
Please submit, play, have fun, and ask a question. Join our Discord. We're really friendly. I mean, really friendly. It's unnatural. People are so nice to each other there. I've been on IRC too long, and it's weird.
So what you're saying is the F in RF Village stands for fun.
Or friendly.
Oh, friendly.
Really friendly village.
Friendly really fun.
Oh, I thought it was real fucking, but okay.
That's the village. That's what it is behind the scenes when we're trying to figure shit out.
Oh, I thought it was a Rick fuck. Rick fuck. Okay. I think that's good. We need to come up with a tag for the giveaway that me and Dark Matter are doing. We're giving out a full war driving set of our Raspberry Pi 4s with dongles.
Ooh,
yes.
Which dongles?
Get them now.
Which dongles? I mean, are we punishing these people?
Yeah, I'm thinking of throwing some Realtek 88s.
You gotta have some pre-named aardvark dongles.
And then I'd be like, this doesn't work. Like, no shit, get a real dongle. It's like, yeah, send me the thing.
Here's Janice and Beatrice.
Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll throw in some Realtek 88s and some GLONASS only GPS.
The system's default set to Russian, so everyone will be real comfortable with it.
But no, we'll give out. We're giving out 2, celebrating Wiggles 20th from the last episode and this episode.
That's awesome.
I'm not doing Iceman Loves Goats because that's just hard because he's like not here. Be like, what the fuck? Why the fuck am I doing in the title of this?
He's from Iceland. He might like goats. You don't know that.
Yes, but he might not be willing to share that in public yet.
You can share it publicly. It's okay.
Oh, jeez.
Iceman is an RFID sheep.
How about RF, but the F is friendly. R friendly.
R friendly.
Yeah. So
a joke off of J friendly.
Yeah. So the first part of the tag is in the other episode. The second tag is R friendly.
Yes, I like it.
Spell it right.
R friendly, like AR-15, but friendly.
Like AR-15, but without the bullets.
Without the pointy end.
Without the pointy end. Like I said, thanks guys. Thanks both of you.
Thanks for having us.
And, thanks for everything you guys do.
We love being here.
We need to do a recap after Defcon though. So I'm requesting that you guys reserve time for us after Defcon to do a catch up. So
after we catch up on sleep, the answer is yes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Of course.
Sleep first. 2-week vacation, then back on TV.
We can do that. All right, you guys have anything else? You want to plug anything? Pen 2?
Diana Initiative is running this weekend, so
yeah.
Pen 2.
Check out the Diana Initiative. Support them.
Yeah.
And what else do we have? CFP. Don't forget to submit the CFP to the RF Village. And
use Pen 2, as always.
Use Pen 2. Shout out to Pen 2.
Hey, one more important thing. Where can people find, I'm sure they found you already. That's why they're here. But just in case somebody catches this down the stream, where can they find you guys and the village people?
Village people.
Everything important's off of rfhackers.com. So our Discord is linked off of rfhackers.com. Our getting started guide, everything we dropped in the chat, you can find on rfhackers.com. And if you need any more help than that, definitely the Discord is a great place. We do respond on Twitter, but only 2 or 3 times a day.
That's right.
Awesome.
Dropping off the kids.
The secret way to get people to respond to to your tweets is to include dark matter on it. All the tweets.
That'll definitely
Dark
help.
matter, all the tweets.
All the tweets.
Oh my gosh.
Tweets. Ah. Oh, I have one announcement.
Oh yes, please enlighten us.
Congratulations. Thank you.
We're
so happy you finally understood.
I'm coming out. No,
we know.
The Wireless Shit Show now has its own YouTube. The only problem is because it doesn't have 100 subscribers, it's not a vanity.
It's not 100. It's 1,000 subscribers.
Oh,
it's 1,000.
It was 100 last year.
No, it's 1,000. You have to get 1,000 subs to be able to get a vanity
URL.
Yep.
Wait,
No,
we got one.
Yeah, I've got one.
Oh, fuck
Me and
you
Henry's
all.
channel has. It took us forever to get one. So
I have like
everybody that loves Kintaro, please support the YouTube channel.
Yeah, let's get to the 1,000.
No, so
let's get them to their vanity.
I am very vain.
Yes, you are. You probably think this song is about you.
It's all about me all the time. God damn it. But no, the thing is that I've been posting this show onto my YouTube, but I wanted to put it off. It has all the episodes so far except for that one episode with the QR code that I'm not comfortable putting on YouTube yet. So
oh my god, that would be amazing. Take a picture of this screenshot, please.
Yeah, so we'll be there. I'll tweet it out later.
Awesome.
On the Wireless Shit Show tweets. So yeah, that's it for today. We'll take a last minute questions, right? So any questions from the chats before we go? No? Going once?
There's a 5-second delay, so you gotta wait. You gotta wait.
I don't give a fuck if there's a 5-second delay. Not my fucking problem.
You just got really aggressive.
Wow. You need to get out more.
He's had a lot of Red Bull. You gotta forgive him.
Not enough.
I don't know. I couldn't see his hat because it was camouflaged to his background.
Most running 3 to 5 dBi mobile antennas. Yes, not bigger antennas does not mean.
Yeah, forget 7's worthless. It's an antenna-shaped object. 5 is my favorite.
Hold on, 5 is the perfect all-around antenna. I think we all agree there. Right. But if you're war driving farm fields, having a Yagi out each window or having a 15 dBi or something stupid like that is great. But when you drive that into the city, you're picking up the first floor of suburbs and tall buildings, and you're not picking up the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 10th floor. Whereas if you have like a 2 dBi antenna, now you're getting those high rises and things like that. 5 dB is perfect all around, but lower in the city, higher in the fields. There's a lot of ways to do that. Having a bunch of antennas and a bunch of Wi-Fi cards is always the best.
Yeah, I mean, playing with your shit is absolutely something that we all joke about, but you got to do. One of the tests I run, every single assessment, and it's no joke. If somebody were filming me, I'd laugh. But I go out to a football field and I take all the antennas and all the radios I'm going to run. I put the access point on the 0-yard line at the goal line, and I stand at the 100 and I look at my RSSI. And then I move forward and look again, and then move forward and look again. I do that across the entire field, and I check to make sure every radio and every antenna works. I use my directionals, I use my omnis, I use my 60 degrees, 1, 3, 5, and 7, and make sure everything's doing what I want it to do. You got to put the time in to figure this stuff out.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it for today then.
Okay. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you, Kintaro. Appreciate everybody in the chat, all the cool questions. And yeah, so check us out online. With that, I think we'll wrap this thing up, and we will see you guys. When are we doing next week?
We'll talk about it after the show.
All right, we'll figure out the next one. But there will probably be a 9. Love your guys' faces. Peace out. Take care, everybody.